China has been in the news recently that the tension with Australia but with the Western world, and this includes the USA, Europe, and our neighbours in the South Pacific. As the Trobe China expert James Leopold points out, the seminar which hosted the two former Prime Ministers Kevin Rudd and Malcolm Turnbull at Trobe University have different opinions on the Chinese issue. This is what James had to say about the two former Prime Ministers.
Both of them probably think they know quite a bit about China and about how to manage the bilateral relationship. Certainly, Kevin Rudd, a fluent Mandarin speaker, who previously served in Beijing in our embassy, certainly has a wealth of knowledge as it relates to China. Turnbull, through his kind of business experience, had a lot of dealings as well before he entered Parliament.
As James pointed out, the two former leaders have different opinions on China and want to know a different idea to help the nations recuperate. In terms of this is what both former Prime Ministers had to say about China.
The so-called wolf warrior diplomacy, the 14 demands, truly one of the nuttiest things I've ever seen. It just shows you how out of touch with the Australian reality.
And it's good to be on this platform with former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. Dealing with the Australia-China relationship does not infer a monopoly of wisdom on either side of politics. It's inherently complex and requires, I think, the combined wisdom of the nation.
With the two former Prime Ministers taking on this issue as well, this is an issue that has burdened the Morrison government in every step, as the Morrison government has been impacted by Chinese aggression, such as the lobster tariffs, the wine tariffs, and the barley tariffs. This will cause an uproar in anti-China dissent, which we have already seen. As we know, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has caused the World Health Organization to put in an investigation. This has caused a huge impact on Australia and China relations. With two former Prime Ministers putting their little 2 cents into the issue, this will cause more issues for the Scott Morrison government, as they'll now need to work out how to combat China, but also to use Kevin Rudd's and Malcolm Turnbull's opinion as well. This has been Patrick Morrow for the Uni Radio.